What did you do if you I reincarnated in an unlucky NPC character and the world is full of magic and sword? And the first panel, we can see a beautiful woman who is choke. And the man say, why do you always look at me with that kind of expression? And the stranger stopped and said, what is going on? And suddenly, the woman slapped the man and he flies. And the man was hurt. The man is caught in pain. And he spoke and said, a dream. I am dreaming. This dream feels it is so real, right? My head, it hurts. These are my memories. And suddenly, the memories show in our protagonist. And the third is pointed to our protagonist. And the beautiful girl say to our protagonist, since the challenge just now have already been settled, why do you still persist join your brother and even pin me down? The girl is blushing. And our protagonist say, I don't know. The girl say, you don't know. And suddenly, someone insert into conversation between our protagonist and the beautiful girl. And said, junior brother, you should give up. Senior sister doesn't like you all. Now that you lost twice in a row, are you pretending to be dumb because you feel embarrassed? Protagonist say, when did you ever say I like senior sister? The pink hair girl said, you're really shameless. The beautiful girl said, junior sister, there's nothing more to say. Let's go. And the beautiful girl used her magic power and play with the girl with the pink hair girl. Our protagonist say, what is going on? It doesn't seems like a dream. I have all 5 senses and I can feel the coldness of the shirt against my neck. And our protagonist is caught. And feel dizzy. And our protagonist has remembered, I have transfigured into the game sword. And this mortal legend, the lead discipline of the Lu Shu pick in the game is called Ningyi Wan. And that would be terrible according to the plot. Just now, it should be the scene where in PC, he, King Yang, challenged Ningyi Wan and gets the pit. Because of he, King Yi Wan, keep persisting. Ningyi Wan. Eventually, first, Ningyi Wan to get together with a senior brother, Shin Chin. Why did I have transfigured into the unlucky NPC body? Logically, I should have become the male protagonist, Li Shan Yao. The worst part is, I used to skip all the NPC dialogues when playing the game. I only vaguely remember the general plot. And our protagonist is happy to this. Because he remembers all major events in this game. And suddenly, another girl appears. And this girl was Lao Xin. And said, I've been looking for you everywhere. Our protagonist say, Lao Xin. I remember this NPC, Chin Xin, luckily pretends to be very loyal to he, King Yang. But actually, love Chin Xin. On the night, he, King Yang, was completely rejected by Ningyi Wan. And lost his memory. Lao Xin used the excuse of the comforting him to suck him dry of his essence. And suddenly, Lao Xin falls and he said, save me brother with a cute face. And our protagonist avoids Lao Xin. Then catch Lao Xin, feels anger and said, junior brother, why didn't you catch me? My butt is hurts. Protagonist say, sister Lao Xin. Men and women, don't touch each other. Don't want to ruin your reputation. And our protagonist is run away. And said, I must hurry back to the dormitory and organize my thoughts. Lao Xin with angry face said, if I go back just like this, how I explain to senior brother, Chin. Back to our protagonist, he arrives in her home. And thinking what he do now. He lies in her bed. And is tired. And said, I must leave this guy alone. Before the competition, suddenly, Lao Xin appears on the door. Our protagonist said, damn it, such a pest. Lao Xin said, junior brother, his senior sister will never like you. I'm not less attractive than senior sister. Why can't it be me? And our protagonist feels annoying. Lao Xin closed the door. And approaches to our protagonist with a strange plan. And said, why don't you let senior sister comfort you? Or woundle the heart? Lao Xin said, with a lewd face. Junior brother, you know I like you. And our protagonist is so shocked to this. And we see a heavenly beautiful view in this panel. By the way guys, I forgot. The name of our protagonist is King Yang. And King Yang said, "What's going on? Why do I suddenly want to get close to her?" Lao Shin got closer to our protagonist and said, "Look, your body is also craving me." Lao Shin approached our protagonist King Yang. And you know guys, what Lao Shin want to do to our King Yang. And King Yang will slowly falling in love in Lao Shin. In this scene, Lao Shin said, "Junior brother, hold me tight." When our protagonist is about to touch Lao Shin said, "I got him." And as King Yang gradually falls under Lao Shin attraction, he whispering this and said, "Just like that, come, I take you to paradise." And we will see a pass hand going towards to Lao Shin. And our Sigma protagonist push Lao Shin to leave him. Lao Shin was fly at the door because of the strength of the pushing of our protagonist. King Yang looked like didn't know what he do. Lao Shin is quoting so much. King Yang said, "Power is constantly surging to my fingertips. Is that the world of cultivation? And now I understand now. The original host is a demon dog. Even thought he had just transformed into human form. As the first step to the world of cultivation. As the first step to the world of cultivation. The first stage of the demon race, Starfire, is equivalent to foundation establishment stage of the human cultivators." Back to the Lao Shin and said, "Junior brother, you are crazy." Lao Shin in her mind, King Yang, was always who hadn't broken thought. The first stage in the 2 years of cultivation. How could he hurt me when I'm already at the peak of the foundation? King Yang said, "Sister Lao Shin, I already said outside that I don't want to touch you. For the fear of running your reputation. Besides, this is my room. I originally closed the door. And you entered without my permission." Lao Shin said, "I like you for a long time. You know that." Our protagonist said, "Like me for a long time. Yet, you use enchantment spells. On me, Sister Lao Shin." Lao Shin in her mind. How did he see? Thought my illusion. Always in the key refining stage. On outside of the house of King Yang. We heard a voice of Lao Shin. And said, "What are you doing? Wait, my clothes." And we will see Lao Shin kick in the house. By our protagonist. And our protagonist closed the door. King Yang, inside the house, trying to suck my essence. To benefit your lover. Do you take me for Nape Pool? That originally host was. And we will see in the background. What happened to the game? That Lao Shin sucks all the essence of King Yang. King Yang said, although I don't quite remember the original host backstory, it was mentioned that his demon dog clan essence blood was extremely precious, which made me his cultivation speed extremely pass, strangling the sin in the cradle. I'm really something, King Yang said with a shining face. And the next panel, we will see a massive house. And King Yang hide to the forest. And he looking for something. And said, "Save no one here." King Yang is hiding to the trees. And said, although there is a barrier. That's a setting from the game. Maybe this world has a long change. King Yang is in a hurry. And said, if I can escape today, I would definitely free. Without looking back. And suddenly, our protagonist has been stopped because he reached the barrier of the game. And he fell to the ground and said, ouch. And King Yang said, the Skyrim is not a place one can just live. And outside a barrier, we will see a woman. The girl is walked to the barrier and he pass. The woman said, King Yang. And our protagonist said, Zheng King. And we introduce you guys. This is Zheng Ching, author discipline of the Louis Choi, Secretary-Chief, editor of the Skyrim Chronicles. And we call this girl Zheng only because it's so hard to me to say this word. Zheng said, do you want to leave the mountain? Our protagonist said, no. I was just taking a walk. I got tired. And so I sit down to rest for a while. Sister Zheng, did you just return from the mission? Zheng said, I received a message from a chronicle saying that junior brother actually challenged the leader discipline of Louis Choi picked Ning Mi Wan. Zheng said, this is a big news. I had to rush back for a meeting to write about it. The new issue of the Chronicles is going to sell out. and I received a solo mission to leave the mountain. But on the way, I heard this big news. I thought I have a plenty of time for the mission. So I decided to return and write the article first. Didn't expect to run into you. You have to give me the inside scoop. Our protagonist said, I hit my head during the day. Hee. It's all misunderstanding. Zen said, junior brother. He you don't know really likes Sister Ning, do you? Actually, everyone outside is saying you're jealous of senior brother King. And that's why you're testering Sister Ning Niwen. Is it true? You don't have to overthink. I see Sister Ning feelings for the senior brother King are purified. Those of below discipline. Our protagonists say, how could I possibly like Sister Ning? We even thought we are all part of the system. But in the sky realm, there is still a mountain between us and young pig. I hardly ever seen Sister Ning. Jung said, eh. But the last time you challenged her, you said you're the picture in the sky realm put competition. And make her your wife. I was there. I heard it with my own ears. Sister Ning is now in the condensing vine stage. And will surely reach in the golden core stage in half year. She is the true senior sister. Moreover, she received a title from the secretary master. And can no longer be called senior sister. She should be addressed as a lord. Yu Hua, our protagonists say, I was drunk that day talking nonsense. Our protagonist in her mind said, King Yang, you are just a side NPC. Yet you dare to challenge the main storyline NPC. And want to marry her. How much fake wine did you drink? Jung said, to our protagonist, King Yang, tell me, do you have some past history with Lord Yu Hua? I trade 3 low-grade spirit stone for some gossip, okay. Jung said. Jing Yang and Jung is going back to the town. Jing Yang said. Senior sister Jung, I just remembered that I left some medical soup brewing in my derm. It's probably almost ready so I'll be going now. And our protagonist is ran so past. But Jung is follow our protagonist and said. Junior brother, wait, where neighbors would it be better to go back together? Jung said with a cutie expression. But our protagonist said. Ha ha ha, I must have really hit my head hard today. Let's go back together then. Jung said, actually, I think junior brother has a pure energy. As long as train your diligently and avoid laziness. Is there years you have a chance to fight Lord Yua? No need rush this year. Our protagonist in her mind. Wherever I can survive the next 6 months is still uncertain. Secmaster. If a junior brother has a chance to obtain the rare third solar dragon, it would definitely benefit your cultivation greatly, but I don't know where the third is now. Our protagonist said thank you for the explanation senior sister Jung, but I really have no feelings for the sisterning you Lord Yua is beyond us outer discipline. And Jung said that's not good, Lord Yua is the talk of the sky realm and you have so many conflicts with her. I can truly hope you and she can make some progress. By the way, you must have trying to go down the mountain just now. Our protagonist said, I could hide it from the senior sister. Jung said, I remember you had taken any mission yet. If you complete your task, you can get a pass to go down the mountain and play freely. Our protagonist said, I was planning to go research to Pobalion tomorrow to get a mission. King Yang said, why is senior sister Jung look at me like that? Jung said, you seem a bit different from before. You used to always make excuses when I pre-shouted you to take on tasks. Today, you're so proactive, is it? King Yang in her head. Did she realize I'm not the original NPC? If I'm exposed, who knows that kind of punishment awaits me? Will I be struck by lightning? And Jung said. Could it be the power of love? And our protagonist is stunned because none of her thoughts is correctly. Our protagonist is just laughing. I just feel that after being in the sky realm for 2 years. The older I get, the more I feel I can't waste time anymore. Jung said. The dermatology area is here. It's good that junior brother King Yang thinks this way. If you recall any old graduates, it's feeling with their duo. Remember to tell me first. With Spring and Adam. My writing skills, I definitely produced a blockbuster issue of the Chronicles. Our protagonist in her mind, Spring and Atom. Doesn't sound like anything positive. Forget it. It's already dark. I make plans tomorrow. And when he stepped the door, our protagonist is being transformed into a dog. Our protagonist said, "Oh no, I forgot the original host was a demon dog." In the early stage of the human transfiguration, I might revert to animals from a night. And why does it have to be now? This is so unlucky. Our protagonist brought his clothes and said, "The sky realm is cultivators' territory. Most cultivators hate demons and the devils to the bone. If they find out I'm a demon dog, they definitely skin me and eat dog meat. And we will see a healthy legs of his animal perm." And said, "I haven't had a meal since I transmigrated here. So hungry." Suddenly, someone said, "A spirit. Beast." Our protagonist is so shocked and he know what this voice come from. And this is Ning Yi Wan. Ning Yi Wan said, "Are you a spirit beast belongs to one of the junior discipline?" And our protagonist is so shocked and dropped her clothes. Ning Yi Wan said, "Without a binding charm, you're a masterless spirit beast. This is the termitory for disciplines. If you're masterless, don't trespass here." And our protagonist is shaking because of her scariness. Ning Yi Wan said, "Which junior brother's termitory is this? How could they throw clothes at the door?" Ning Yi Wan said to our protagonist, "Come to my place. Are you hungry? I'll give you something to eat." And our protagonist is so happy to this. And said, "The smell of Ning Yi Wan is so good." Suddenly, our protagonist has thought something. And said, "Oh no, Ning Yi Wan has other jade spirit constitution, which naturally attracts demon. If I observe a bit of Ning Yi Wan essence, it would greatly benefit my cultivation." And our protagonist said, "No, I can't. What I am thinking." Ning Yi Wan said, "What's wrong, little puppy?" And our protagonist thought something to this. And said, "Is this really the same person?" And we will see the angry face of Ning Yi Wan and the pity face. And we will see Ning Yiwan kiss our protagonist in her animal form. Ching Yang is shocked to this. Ning Yiwan said, "Sister will protect you." Ning Yiwan said to our protagonist, "Master instructed me to deliver something to uncle on the Lui Shui Peak and I happened to meet you, little puppy." Ning Yiwan put down for a while our protagonist and said, "Let me wipe your little paws." She grabbed the paws of our protagonist and said, "You're such a dirty little puppy. I don't recall ever seeing a canny spirit beast in the sky rim. Are you a baby who recently wandered into this place?" Protagonist on her mind, what the heck is going on? Why does Ning Yiwan seems different from her game setting? And why is she calling me a baby? Ning Yiwan said, "Today junior brother King Yang challenged me again and I expect he lost his spirit. Such a strange person. Everyone say he likes me but I don't think so." Our protagonist on her mind, why is she suddenly talking about me? Ning Yiwan said, "Actually I don't dislike junior brother King Yang but never mind. You're just a baby. You would understand." And our protagonist hid her private parts and said, "This is embarrassing. My entire body is exposed on front of Ning Yiwan." Ning Yiwan said, "I didn't expect you to be shy. You're quiet, innocent baby. X3 Monday night, I let you sleep with me." He asked, "That person just like to sleep together. Though it may seem like they aren't friends." Our protagonist said, "Ning Yiwan really likes the small animals. She often used to catch spirit beasts to sleep with her. Why should I do? Do I really have to sleep with her?" Hailing a few whiffs of her spirit jade body fragments could extend their lives. If I suddenly run away, would that be too suspicious? And Ning Yi Wan take off her clothes. And we will see in this panel the heavenly body of Ning Yi Wan. Our protagonist in her mind, luckily she is sleeping in her underwear. This is so notorious. Ning Yi Wan and our protagonist with her animal perm sleep together. Our protagonist cry and said, "Devil, how can I possibly sleep?" After taking off her clothes, the fragrance of her spirit jade body is even stronger. I really can't hold it. But now I'm just a little dog who can't speak or do anything. Damn it, I can't do anything. Is she asleep? and our protagonist trying to escape. And Ning Mi Wan suddenly talk and said, "Baby, don't move around." But Ning Mi Wan, you will see, she is still sleeping. Our protagonist said, "My legs are numb. Let's climb out the window that the way there won't be any noise from the door." King Yong climbed up and he escaped and said, "Lord Yu Hua is so scary." After all, the next day of the research pavilion, our protagonist is walking around. The people around of our protagonist is said, "Isn't that the disciple of Prom Lu Shi Pik who challenged Lord Yuan? Yesterday, I heard he's jealous of senior brother King. After the Lord Yu Hua would run away with him. Senior brother King is the chief discipline of Lu Shi Pik. How can King Yong compared to him?" And our protagonist is talking to someone and said, "Elder, I'm here to accept a low-level mission." Elder said, "All the mission plates from the month have already been assigned. You're late." Our protagonist said, "Ha, but I'm in a bit of hurry." The elder said, "Oh, you're in a hurry? Well, I have one mission left. To reward is only 2 points. So many disciplines don't want to take. Do you want it? And we will see in the plague. The Washi Tower Mommy case, low level." The elder said, "If you accept it, please register here." And our protagonist said, "Then please help me register the mission. I take it," with confidence in her face. And we can see that King Yong is dropping something. And King Yong said this is a 12 low-grade spirit stone that originally owner has really poor. And in NPC bro, your cultivation isn't great and you don't have enough money. Why did you even come to Sky Realm? And suddenly, Jung King appeared on the back of our protagonist and said, "Junior brother King Yong, I heard you already taken a mission." Our protagonist said, "Oh, it's senior sister Jung King. Yes, I took it not long ago. And now the elder give me one-time permission to leave the mountain." Jung King said, "Actually, I heard that Lord Jiwa just took a mission to leave the mountain as well. And I heard your mission location are quite close." And Jung King said to our protagonist, "Did you do this on a purpose?" Our protagonist said, "It was just a mission that no one wanted which the elder gave me pure coincidence." And Jung King said, "Wow, you really don't have money." And then our protagonist said, "I don't have enough money for that. Yes, that's all I have left." Jung King said, "As long as you complete the low-level mission, the 2 points can be exchanged for the medium-grade spirit stone. The then medium-grade spirit stone is that equivalent to 300 tells of silver. If you're in a different region, it could be worth even more silver." Jung Ching said, "Since I've given you this good news, you must tell me about your romantic adventures with Lord Yua. When you get back, and if you ever become the dual cultivation partners with Lord Yua, I'll be famous in the Sky Rim as well. Lord Yua is the top choice for a dual cultivation." And Jung Ching is about to leave and said, "See you later." Jing Yang said, "Dual cultivating with her, I die even faster." And the next morning, our protagonist is walking around in the forest and said, 12 low-grade spirit stone. With star fire. Stage. Gods. Perspective. That's it. Now our protagonist feels sick. And said, with only this little on me, I can't even think about escaping from Sky Rim. I starve in a week. I need to figure out how to increase money and cultivate. Otherwise, when it's time to escape, I'll be caught off guard and nothing will go wrong. I was just playing game at home and then out of nowhere I ended up in this world. And I landed in the body of the unlucky and visit with no special abilities. I'm here to be a joke. I already been walking for the 2 hours, might stop preparing water to supply from the pond. And we will see." Lao Shin back to the stone. And washing her body. Lao Shin said, "The water is so clear." And Lao Shin noticed something on her back and said, "Who's there?" And Lao Shin shouting at the forest. Our protagonist said, "Senior sister Lao Shin, if I have no, I would be just run straight down the mountain. Is this the pond water basically? But water. Now." Lao Shin said, "Junior brother, King Yong, did you come to find me?" King Yong said, I was just passing by, stop for a drink. If I know you were here, I would have to take in a detour. Lao Shin said, how coincidental. It's just the two of us here. Please don't be shy. Lao Shin with a serious face said, hee, okay, you come here for me. It will be such a pity if you don't give me your life essence. To senior brother Qin. And our protagonist said to Lao Shin, I need to hurry down the mountain to complete a task. Senior sister Lao Shin. You can continue your path. Lao Shin said. Junior brother King Yang, don't go. And we will seek Lao Shin. Our protagonist said, you used to be kinkinder. To me. Who made you angry? If isn't me, please tell me, what did I do wrong? And our protagonist said, senior sister Lao Shin, are you a pervert? Lao Shin lying on the ground. And feels embarrassed and said, I'm a pervert. Junior brother King Yang, I have true feelings for you. Why do you insult me like this? And our protagonist said, senior sister Lao Shin, you should focus on your attention on senior brother King. Bye bye. Lao Shin said to herself. Has this guy realized something lately? He's been deliberately avoiding me. It can be he clearly used to enjoy my advantage. And we will see, there's a guy on the top of the tree. Watching our protagonist and Lao Shin. And suddenly, he downed and said, this is King Yang. It's really strange. He climbs to admire you. But I also hear his close relationship with this Lao Shin. And just now, Lao Shin show her affection and he call her a pervert. I could figure out what's going on with him. And Lao Shin said to the guy, Junior brother Lee, it's better not to comment on the others' matters. And Lee said, yes, sister. I spoke too much. Senior sister, the demonic powers have been on the rise again recently. Please, your task this time also involves the demonic forces. So, please be extra careful. Lao Shin said, Junior brother Lee, your task is not easy either. And Lao Shin passed to the barrier and said, Junior brother Lee, we will part ways here. I need to head north to Jiaoyao country. And Lee said, may you return back to your country. Thank you, senior sister. King Yang is standing near to the barrier and he holds the plate and he used this to pass thought the barrier. Instead, it's a pity that this single-use token also has a recall function. If I exceed the mission time limit, I'll be sent back to the Sky Realm. Otherwise, I would have considered escaping this time. And our protagonist arrived at the Jiaoyao country and said it was a quiet close just up a day's journey away. Jiaoyao country is located 10 kilometers north of the Sky Realm and our protagonist walking around here. And it's a pervious small town nestled between mountains and rivers. Although the items sold here are once I seen in the game, actually seeing them in the real life is very peculiar. Before, these things were like static image, unique directive, and most vendor in pieces called even engage in the conversation. How hearing their laugh and banner adds a unique flavor to the experience. The original owner didn't even had a decent weapon. This mission, also known as the dry corpse case, makes me feel uneasy without a weapon at hand. King Yang said, alright, let's take a look. He will go at the third store. The vendor girl said, sir, what kind of weapon are you looking to buy? Our shop has everything from a secret hidden weapon to great access. King Yang said, I'm a sword collector. So I should buy a suitable sword. And our protagonist caught her attention to this sword. Our protagonist said, shopkeeper, how much for this iron sword? The vendor girl said, you have a good eye, sir. This sword can cut thought iron like mud. Perfect for self-defense. It's only 10 taels of silver. Our protagonist said, I don't have any silver on me. Can I pay with a lower grade spirit stone? The girl vendor said, there's a pawn shop nearly bought spirit stone and silver. Can be used accurately. If you convert it to lower grade spirit stone, 3 will be enough. King Yang said, here are 3 lower grade spirit stone. Oh, that hurts. And the girl vendor get the lower grade spirit stone and said, thanks for the purchase. King Yang said, by the way, shopkeeper, I'm actually a discipline for my lushy pick in this kind of realm. I'd like to ask you about the flower water house. The girl vendor shrugged and said, Ah, a immortal cultivator. I have indeed heard some things about Flower Waterhouse. The girl vendor whispered to our protagonist and said, Flower Waterhouse is the largest brothel in this area. Recently, many men have been carried out completely, drained and dying in a horrifying way. The authorities questioned the girls in the house and even had a dragon flying division identify them. They were all human. But if they are human, how could drained men dry? Something suspicious going here. Our protagonist said to the girl vendor, Thank you for the information, shopkeeper. I had the flower waterhouse right away. And the girl vendor said, If you are a cultivator from the sky realm, I believe you will find something. And our protagonist is about to leave. And the girl vendor said, Immortal cultivator, please rid us of this evil. And our protagonist arrived at the flower waterhouse. And it's quite empty. And the poor women dancing. Our protagonist said, It seems that the dry corpse case has greatly impacted this dessert. On the typical day, this place should be bustling with activity. Suddenly, there's a woman down the stairs and said, At this rate, I have to close down in less than 3 months signs. Damn it. There's are plenty men out there. Why come to my flower waterhouse and target mine? And the girl shocked and said, Ah, a customer. He rushed down and said to our protagonist, Oh, young man, master, what you like to drink it or which girl would like to massage, listen to tune, or maybe some games. Our girls can do it all. And our protagonist said, This madam must disparate for business lately. Our protagonist introduced herself and said, I'm a disciplined former Lucia Pick from the sky realm here to exterminate evil and unhold justice. The girl is crying and said, My life is so miserable. Oh, immortal master, you have no idea how much I suffered. And the girl close to our protagonist and said, I've been praying for a hero day and night and finally, you arrived. Our protagonist said, First, tell me about the case. And the girl said, The months ago, a male guest was found dead in one of the girls' beds, which terrified our girls. We initially thought he had indulged excessively. But since then, every 3 days, another male guest has died. Those guest kidneys were all gout out. It's really pathetic. Originally, I reported to the official, as you know, Immortal Master Flower Waterhouse operates in the gray area. Between the authorities and the dragon flying office, with no choice, I could only send a message asking for help from immortal masters of the sky realm. My life is so miserable. Our protagonist said, Is this era, there is no surgery for organ transplant. So the tip who took their kidneys is the likely a cultivator or a demonic creature. But why the kidneys generally? They should be taken the heart, right? Could it that the demonic creature has a treats of kidneys and needs to make up for it? It could be the tip locking in the department. If that's the case, and it takes a demonic creature, the kidneys, it should be too powerful as long as not beyond the foundation establishment stage, I should be able to handle it. Our protagonist said to the girl, Madam, when was the last accident? The girl said it was the day before yesterday. Tomorrow we'll have another death at the flower waterhouse. And said, My life is so miserable. And he squeezed her boobs to our protagonist. And said, Immortal master, you have most helped me save the flower waterhouse. I will everything in my power. Suddenly, another girl appeared and said, Didn't I sue to get me some birds from the one shopkeeper place? It's been several days, why haven't you brought them to me? The owner of the water flower house said to the girl, Longer business has been so bad lately, you've only had 3 or 4 customers in total, not enough to cover the cost of the bird's nest. Hold on a little longer. Once the immortal master has a case, I will find someone to buy them for you. The girl said, Oh, immortal master. Then, I wait a few more days. By the way guys, the name of this white-haired girl is Li Yong. The owner said, Li Yong is the one of the top girls here. Usually, pamper it and spoil it. With the monthly insurance. She is in a bad mood, immortal master, please don't mind her. And our protagonist said, No problem. By the way, could you prepare a guest room for me, mother? Just a regular one. I need some time to think about what to do. And the owner said, all right, immortal master, follow me, I take you to the guest room. All the rooms of almost all my girls have dead lately. Only Li Yang's room hasn't had any accident. So, it's okay. Understandable. She is in a bad mood. Our protagonist said, which one is a Li Yang's room? And the owner pointed and said, this is it. And our protagonist happily and said, today, I stay in the guest room. Tomorrow morning, I switch room with Miss Li Yang. And the owner got close to the room of Li Yang. Li Yang, are you inside? And Li Yang come out and said, madam, I was just about to go to bed. What's the matter now? The owner said, tomorrow morning, the immortal master will switch rooms with you. You need to temporarily move out after you wake up. Li Yang said, capturing the culprit is one thing. But why should a man take off the lady's room? What kind of nonsense is this? Our protagonist said, I'm worried that you culprit may harm you. Otherwise, I would ask to switch rooms. And Li Yang got close to our protagonist and said, well, you are quite pleasing to the eye. Fine, considering your good looks, I'll let you stay for a while. And the owner slapped the hands of Li Yang and said, the immortal master is here. The immortal master isn't like those other men. Show some respect. And Li Yang said, I got it. The owner and King Yang is leave and said of the owner. Sorry, immortal master. The girls from the place like this are always tactless. Please don't take it to heart. And King Yang said, no problem. And the owner showed to our protagonist his room and said, this is the room you'll be staying in. Immortal master. Immortal master is here. The location is the best, offering a full view of the first floor. The owner take the hands of our protagonist and said, my life and livelihood are in your hands. And another murder happens then. Even the few remaining customers will fly away. Our protagonist said, I will do my best. And our protagonist pushed the owner and said, madam, I prepare now. And our protagonist entered her room. King Yang sat there and thought. When playing the game, the brothel had a side quest. But the rewards weren't great, so I skipped it. If I could return to my original world, I would never skip any quest again. Pepin is ready tonight. I temporarily cultivate and thoughtfully review the original owner's cultivation techniques. I just hope culprit isn't hard. This is a low-level task. It's worth only 2 points. That means it's not very dangerous. But I still can't care less. According to the book, after reaching the foundation establishment stage, gather spiritual energy at the forehead to receive the spirit of the cult things. As the cultivation increases perception, it straightens and eventually one can control everything. All thought, I'm done. I should be able to cultivate it. I should be able to cultivate the Starfire stage, which is the equivalent to the human foundation establishment stage. It seems simple enough. And our protagonist focused on what he's doing. And he sensed the cultivation of the others. And our protagonist said, I can really sense it. It turns out the cultivation is so interesting. Why did the original owner neglect the cultivation? His training. If he had put in some effort, I might already be in the third realm. By now, what's a waste of the Demon Dog clan's talent? And our protagonist practiced his other powers in doing shadow fight and said, I've pretty much memorized the first 3 chapters of this technique. And this is interesting. When I return to the Lucy Peak, I must go to the library and borrow more techniques to study. And suddenly our protagonist transformed in her demon dog form and he cried and said, here it comes again. Never mind, I'll be traveling all the day. Better get to good night rest to work well tomorrow. And our protagonist slept on her bed. Otherwise, in the forest, we will see Ning Yi Wan flying in the air. And said, whether I run or not, it's dead end either way. Ning Yi Wan followed the stranger. And the stranger said, ha ha ha, you fell for it without knowing Lord Yua is just an empty name. Ning Yi Wan on her back, there's more stranger. And the stranger trying to capture Ning Yi Wan. The stranger said, Ning Yi Wan, tonight your spirit jade body will belong to us. And suddenly Ning Yi Wan grabbed her sword and said, Moon Water Silk Sword. And Ning Yi Wan covered by water and exploded by tons of water. And the stranger got lost. Ning Yi Wan is walking coolly. The stranger said, Immortal lady, please spare us. We were moment. Ning Yi Wan dashes quickly and cut the head of the strangers. and Ningyi Wan killing the strangers surpassed and ended their lives. Thank you guys for watching this the part 1 of our manhwa recap. I hope you like it. If you have manhwa suggestion please comment below. I want to see it, and again thank you guys, bye.